Uh, Hi guys, so good evening. Uh, do let me know in the chat if my voice is audible or not. And today we are here to cover a lot many things. Okay. And today it's our last session, so I hope everybody will be attentive today. Am I right, guys? Okay. Thank you, Jeshi. And yeah, I hope Jashir was the one who was asking me about Kunal's DSA playlist, right? And yesterday, when I was about to give the answer, actually the stream has got ended. Okay, yes. So I have went through his playlist. Uh, yeah, his teaching is really very good. But like yes, yes. Yesterday's stream got ended. Yeah, his teaching is very good. But the thing is, like he has covered only the concepts. Okay, but when refer to Striver's playlist, he has solved many lead code problems as well. Okay, so and all the problems will be having a link between them. For example, if a series of problems, five problems is actually given, then all the problems will be having a continuity in them. So I have watched his playlist. He has explained all the concepts in a well manner. But in Strivers, additionally, you will also be having, he will also be covered more lead code problems. Okay, so of course, both are very good playlist only. Whichever is comfortable for you, you can go with it. Okay. 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 250 to 300 lead code problems. Okay. Mm, but I okay, yeah, that's good on D, and he his teaching is also very cool because I haven't referred Kunal's teaching when I was preparing for my interviews. If you're fine with it, like you can go with it. Okay, I just saw the playlist and he has just seen. I mean, I saw one. I came only through the concepts which he has taught. But if he has solved the lead code problems, that's fine. Like you can go with it. Wait, I'll press on my screen. And guys, good evening to everybody. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. Okay. So, is he providing any DSA sheet? Because in Strivers, no, you'll be having a DSA sheet as well. I went through only this playlist, and here it's in like the tree data structure. He has solved many problems, but here when it comes here, no, oops recursion, and here also I think like there is no continuity in the means in the series, like. But when you take this driver, already the sheet is being given to you, and for each of the things. Okay, for binary search, there will be three divisions like binary search on 1D arrays. So the problem along with the article for this article will be something like the description of the problem and various methods and approaches in order to solve the problem in an optimal manner. Okay, and this is the question where you can answer, and the difficulty level is given, and it will be like a checklist for you whenever you're trying to solve. Okay, and you can also place it for revision as well. If you don't know how to solve this, you can watch this YouTube. So this is how Stiver sheet will be. And there will be a continuity among the problems. Okay, like for example, um, you have here, right, binary search to find. When you try to solve this problem, you'll be easily solving the next two problems, and when you solve all these four problems, it will be very easy for you to solve a medium problem and something like this. Okay, so there will be continuity in the problems. So yep, both both playlist is good. You can go with the one which you feel comfortable. Okay. Okay, guys. Can I refer Kunal for DSA, and from DSA sheet I can go through? Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that works fine. You can, like refer Kunal's videos for, the concepts, and from the Cyrus DSA sheet, you can try to solve them. If you couldn't solve, then you can, go and watch Striver sheet, or else you can also go and watch Kunal's, like, for, like understanding the concept in a more better way. Is that fine, Jashir? And guys, what about others? Good evening. Nobody's responding. And guys, do you have any doubts from the previous sessions? And I have asked you to, solve. Good evening, Simran. I have asked you to solve the Fibonacci series, right? How many of you have tried out solving it? Guys, so how many of you solved the Fibonacci series? Have you traced out the logic for the same? There is no response from your side. Guys, what happened? Like, are you able to trace out? No response. Okay, so today let's start our class with methods declaration. Was the logic for solving Fibonacci series was that much tough? Mm. So yesterday we have seen about at last we have seen about arrays, right? So today let's go through arrays and strings, and we'll be going through a very interesting and an important concept, and we'll be seeing the oops concept as well. Okay, and when you come to see about what is a method, okay, uh, method is actually like how many of you know, function Python method works as the functions. Okay, so in Python we'll be calling it as a function, but here we'll be referring it to as a method. Method is actually it's a function, okay, where it returns a specific a result after computing some steps. Okay, and we are only going to define the block of the function. Okay, and whenever you are going to write a method, it will be following the syntax, the access specifier. So we'll be having access specifier. Core access specifier is available in Java, which is private, public, protected, and a default. Okay, and by default, if you're not specifying any access specifier, then default will be the default specifier will be the default case. Okay, and here you're going to give the return type of your function, what your function is going to return, whether it's going to return an integer value or if it's going to return a string value or a boolean value or something like that. Okay, and here you're going to return, you're going to write the method name, the function name, the name which you're going to, give for your function. Okay, and here is the parameter list. Parameter list in the sense the attributes whichever you're going to pass inside your method. Okay, so the method, it is actually a block of code, or you can also call it as a set of instructions which performs some specified task, and it is going to return some value. And a function can also return void. Void means nothing. It can also be a function with no return type. Okay, void function, so public static void main. Okay, so main method is also a void of a method only. Okay, so let's see a very simple example. I'll be creating a scanned object. Okay, so actually I'm going to find, okay, the square of a number which is given by the user. Okay, so in order to square of a number, what I'll be doing is, I'm going to get the input from the user. Okay, and I'm going to write a method, because obviously square of a number means it is going to return, my function is supposed to return some integer value, right? So my, my method will be public. What is my return type? Int my function name, uh, squares, and the attribute which I'm going to pass. So carefully listen. This is going to be my main method. Okay, and in my main method, I'm going to call this particular method squares, which is declared above the main method. Okay, so I have to pass some attribute. So here I'm passing num attribute into the square method. So as the num variable is an integer data type, so I'll be giving here a variable is going to come, a variable is given as an input to my squares method, which will be an integer variable. Okay, so here I want to return, n star n. So this is the square, right? So I'll be returning n star n. I'm going to return the square value, and n star n corresponds to an integer. So that's why my method is also, going to return some integer value. So I want to store that particular result in a variable, right? I'll be storing it in my main method. Okay, as the return type of squares is an integer value, I'll be also assigning an int result variable here in order to store the output in my variable. Okay, so squares of num. I'll be printing. I'll be printing the result. The square is okay. Oh, public static. Oh, class is not there. Class main. Okay. I'll give 3. Square is 9. Square spelling is wrong. Okay, guys. So, are you getting the point? What is the method? So, I want to, compute the square of a particular number. Okay. So, for example, in my code, I'm going to use the squares method. I'm going to compute the square of the numbers at 10 places. Means it's a redundancy only, right? In order to write the logic for computing the squares each and every time. So in order to reduce the number of lines and in order to make my code more efficient, I'm going to come up with a concept called as a method. Okay, the method what it does, it actually computes and it does a specific task and it's going to return some value. Okay, and the method syntax is going to be the access specifier, static, the name, the the return type of my function and my function name, and the attributes which is going to be passed. Okay, and here I'm going to take an input from the user. Okay, and I want to pass it to my squares method. So I'm passing it. I'm calling the function name squares, and inside I'm going to pass the num attribute. Okay, so whenever the control comes over here, the control goes to the squares method. Okay, and inside we are going to pass num, right? So whenever I'm passing 3 is getting passed into the squares method, and 3 star 3 is computed. Okay, so 9 will be returned from the squares method. As the returned result is an integer, so I'm going to I'm going to store that return value in my another integer variable, and I'll be printing the final result. Okay, so guys, are you clear with how to declare a method? Actually, in Stivers playlist, he has included everything in the space. As many things are those that is not much necessary. They are necessary, but not that much. Actually, one of software engineer told me. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Simran. It was class declaration only. I think while removing the comments, no, I have removed that as well. Next thing. Next thing is arrays. So I have said yesterday, array is actually a linear data structure where each and every element will be accessed, manipulated only with the help of the indexing. Okay, and if your array size is n, then your index will be in the range 0 to n minus 1 inclusive. Okay, yes, and the array elements are stored in a contiguous memory or location. Okay, so we are having two different types of array, 1D array and 2D array. Okay, so 1D array means single array. Okay, which is going to be a normal array, normal list. In Python, we'll be calling it as a list. Okay. Multi-dimensional means it will be kind of matrix and kind of things. Okay. So I'll be telling you how to declare, an array and how to initialize it. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to create an integer array. So my array name will be ARR. Okay, so int ARR, this square brackets actually indicates that it is going to be an array and it's going to be an 1D array. If it is an 2D array, then we have to include two square brackets. Okay, so it is going to be an 1D array. So I am actually including square brackets. Okay, I can also give like this, or I can also give like this as well. Okay, so new keyword. I don't know how many people. Yeah, here itself we have used a new keyword, right? New keyword is actually that is used in order to create a new object. Okay, so new int of my size of my array. So I am going to have size 5. Okay, 5. Okay, and I'll be here. I am going to declare. Here is my array declaration. In the sense, I'm telling my program that I'm going to create an integer array and my array name is ARR. Okay, so create a new array with my size 5. Okay, which means I'll be able to store elements from 5 elements in my array. Okay, then in order to assign values, I'll be giving ARR of 0 is equal to 10. ARR of 1 is equal to 20. ARR of 3 or 2 is equal to 30. ARR of 4, sorry, 3, it is 40. This 50. Okay. So, in order to, to have assigned the values to the array, I will be traversing my array. Okay. I'll be having two approaches. Either I can go with a normal for loop or I can use for each loop as well. Okay. for loop in the sense for int I is equal to 0, I is less than, if I don't know my array length, okay, in order to find the size of my array or in order to find the length of my array, I'll be having a default method in Java, which is dot length method. So arr dot length I plus plus system dot out dot println arr of I. Okay. So I have initialized. Okay. So here my I will be starting from 0. Okay. When my I is 0, it checks whether 0 is less than arr dot length. It actually gives you the size of the array. Here arr dot length will be returning the value 5. Okay. Because here 5 is my size of the array. So 0 is less than 5. So arr of 0, 0th element 10 will be printed. Okay. Then again I becomes 1, 1 is less than 5. So arr of 120 becomes printed. So this is like how I'll be traversing my array. So when I try to run the code, I'll be getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. So this is one of my way of initializing my array. Guys, are you clear with how to initialize an array? Simran, Sunil, guys, be very, attentive because today we are having more things to cover. Okay, cool. And there is also one more way of declaring the array. So if you don't want to, if you know the array elements in prayer, okay, you can also give something like this. Directly you can declare as well as initialize the array with the elements. So instead of giving the size, you can give it in curly braces 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's it. Now also your array is going to work. I mean, this is going to work. Okay. Here you, or if you already know the elements of your array, you can directly give it like this. Or, yes, this is a simple for loop. When you're giving a for each loop for your the variable whichever you are going to use in a for each loop must be same as your data type of your array. So here my array is an int data type, so I'm going to traverse the array with the help of an integer variable. So int I in arr array name, I'm going to just print system dot out dot or int element in arr system dot out dot println element. So this is an example of how a for each loop works. So guys, are you clear with how to declare and traverse an array? Next is going to be my string concept. After seeing the string concept, we can see the algorithm, which is a very very famous algorithm. Okay, in DSA. Okay, so string. String is actually a sequence of characters. Okay, so string is actually a sequence of characters, but in Java, string is also treated as an object, okay, that represents a collection of characters. And there are two ways to create a string. Directly by giving a string literal, you can use a string like string A is equal to some values that is enclosed within a double quotation, or with the help of a new keyword as well, you can create a string. And whenever you are creating a new string object, then it will be stored in a special memory that is known as string constant pool. Okay. And when you take about string, same thing only. String will be similar to array only, right? Okay. Like we'll be able to access the elements and manipulate I mean, usually strings are immutable. Immutable in the sense you cannot change the value that is present in a string. Okay, there are three ways in order to create a string. You can create a normal string, or you can use a string builder class, or you can use a string buffer class. Okay, the main difference between a normal string and string builder and string buffer is in whenever you are using a very normal string, in that case the strings are immutable. That is, you cannot modify the characters that is present in the string. In the original string you cannot modify, which means you cannot manipulate, you cannot update, or you cannot delete it. It is fixed. Okay, but whenever you're using string builder, you can actually, like, you can modify the elements that is present in your string. Okay, and yeah, this is my string. Let's say it is a. So I'm going to have something called as catch, and every time at the end of the string, an end of string character will be there, which is a null character, backspace 0. Okay, it will be getting appended. Okay, but don't worry, it will not be, whenever you try to access, it will not be, considered into account. It actually tells you that it actually means that it is the end of your string. Okay, so only up to this your indexes allocations will be done. So here your index will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and like when you try to access the elements in your string, same only a of 0. If you're using string, then you can directly give it as a of 0. No, you cannot give. Yeah, a of 0 means C. Okay, in Java, in order to get the character at some index, the syntax will be a dot character at caret. Don't worry, I'll code. Okay, I. Okay, so let me give a string. String str is equal to welcome. When I try to print the length of the string, I'll be having a very default method str.length. Okay, so when I try to print the length of my string, 7 is going to be my length. If I want to print the characters that is present for in I is equal to 0, I is less than str dot length, I plus plus. I want to print system dot out dot println um, str dot char at I. So I'm going to traverse each and every element that is present in my string, and because of which I'll be using the for loop. And in the for loop, I'll be using the dot char at method in order to retrieve the element that is present in that particular index. So if I'm giving here, a dot caret 0, C is going to be written, or a dot caret 1, my a will be returned, or a dot caret t, a dot caret 2, then t will be returned. Okay, which means dot caret is a function, okay, that actually returns the character which is present at the specified index or the specified position. Okay, Yes, I'll run the program. Okay, so here you have traversed the entire elements that is present in your string. Next, in order to split your string, okay, there could be many problems where you want to split your string based on a particular delimiter. So splitting a string based on a delimiter. Delimiter in the sense it is something kind of separator. Okay. For example, I'm going to split the string. Okay. I mean, if my string is something like this, hello all, welcome to Java workshop. Okay, so here I have a delimiter. I have a separator here. Space is my separator. Okay, so when I say the program to split my str string object with respect to the delimiter space, then that will be stored in an array of strings. Okay, and in an array of strings, I'll be having hello, comma, all, comma, like welcome, comma, to, okay, something like this. So I want to split my array in such a way that I mean with respect based on the separator or based on the delimiter I want to separate, then I'll be going with this. For example, welcome all, welcoming all to the last day, to the last session. Okay. mm, hmm. Actually it will be stored in a string object only, so string array only. So string splitted array is equal to str dot split. My delimiter will be a space, right? So space. So when I try to access the elements that is present over splitted array, I'll be using a for each loop. For, so in my splitted array, I'm going to traverse my splitted array. In my splitted array, the elements will be having the data type as string. So I will be having an iterator. Iterator is the variable which is going to traverse my array. So my iterator's data type will be string. So for string element in splitted array, system dot out dot println mm, element. Okay, so I have given, like I have given a single line. I have given this string in a single line, but it is being splitted and it is being stored. Okay, for example, see what happens if I'm going to have the delimiter as comma. Comma is going to be my separator. Welcoming comma all to the last section. Here is the comma. Okay, so whenever I'm giving the delimiter as comma, then see what happens. How it will be splitted. Welcoming all to the last session. So it is splitted with respect to the delimiter comma. So this is how you will be using string. And whenever you are coming up with the string builder, you will be creating a string like the string builder str is equal to new string builder of Java. I mean your string. Okay. When you try to print your str object, str, okay, Java will be. And I have said you that in our previous case I have used string, so which means the strings are immutable. So we cannot modify the contents that is present in the string. But here in this case, it is a string builder of a class. So your elements can be modified, and there are lot many like the methods is available when you come to see about the string builder. I'll be showing you. methods available in string builder class in Java. Okay, so these are all the different methods which is available. So you can see what happens. String builder reverse, right? So I'll be giving str dot reverse. See what happens. The Java is getting reversed and it is printed. Okay, so we'll be having many methods like append. Append is actually used in order to insert the elements to your array. So here manipulation is being done. Updation to the string, updation to your original content is being done, but this is not available when you use a normal string class. Okay, and append method, length, insert, delete, all your CRUD operations can be done. Okay, so last index of. So if like your code involves, if your logic, if you want to use a particular logic, or if your problem is to manipulate the strings in whatever way we want in a very flexible manner, going with string builder class is actually a very like a nice concept. Okay, next, these are all the things about what is a method, what is an array, and what is a string. Okay, so now it's time for us to see a coding problem. It's a very very like interesting problem. Okay, you can also use it for different methods as well. So guys, how many of you know what is a palindrome? Previously you started collection groups. Actually today we'll be seeing the logic. Okay, and after which I'll be moving on to the oops concept. Okay, oops concept, in that I'll be covering what is an inheritance, and I'll be teaching you the basic like inheritance, how it works in terms of coding part. And then we'll be seeing what is a constructor. Okay, and we'll also see method overloading and method overriding, because these are all the very very important concepts when you see in an interview aspect. And after completing all these things, if time permits, we'll see about collections. So this is my plan for the day. Okay, so according to your cooperation only, we can complete all the topics. Okay, so guys, are you clear with until are you clear with the things which we have seen in today's session until this? I need the reply, guys. So, and how many people know what do you mean by a palindrome? And of course, like in the collection concept, no, we have seen about the hash map in our previous lectures, right? I'll try to cover, like at most concepts today. Don't worry. At the loops I'll cover. So guys, are you people clear with the things arrays, what is a method and string, and a string builder class? Then we can move to the coding logic. And if you people know what is a palindrome, you can let me know in the chat. Or if you don't know also, that's completely fine. You can let me know, because if you know, then I'll not be explaining the things of what is actually meant by a palindrome. If it's not, then I'll tell you how a palindrome, what is a palindrome, what is a palindromic string. Or response from your side. What happened? Only four are watching, but in the internship group, hundreds are added. What is the matter? I don't know, Jashir. Only four are watching. Okay, so that's completely fine. So people who are not joining, if they are not interested, I don't care. Okay, for these four people, they understood whatever things we have seen until now. Jashir, did you understand? Simran, Athar, and Sunil, do you people understood? Okay. So palindrome is nothing but whenever you take a string. For example, whenever you take a string, uh, caret, okay, or mm, ABABA. Whenever you take a string, okay, when you try to reverse the string, when you reverse, it actually becomes ABABA only, right? So if your original string is equal to the reversed string, then it is actually a palindrome. Right? Okay, your string is a palindrome. For example, if I'm giving my str as Java, when I try to reverse, it becomes AVAJ. This is not a palindrome because Java is not equal to AVAJ, right? So this is not a palindrome. Okay, so there are multiple, methods to solve palindrome. You can simply, create your string object with the help of a string builder class, and you can reverse, and then you can check if both the strings are equal by the help of dot equals method. Okay, but today we'll be seeing an algorithm which is known as two pointers algorithm. I don't know how many people know what is the algorithm of two pointers. Java core. Actually, they have asked me to cover only Java basics and the loops only they have asked me to cover. Okay. Uh, yes. So in the two pointers algorithm, pointer in the sense people who know about C or C++ don't think anything about the actual pointers, okay, or the actual pointer. When in the context of C or C++, pointer is actually an address variable, right? Where you'll be storing the addresses of another variable. So here nothing like this. You're just going to have two variables. That's it. Okay, I'll be telling you with an example. Mm, okay. For example, let's take the string, same string, A, B, C, B, A. This is a palindrome because the original string and the reverse string is going to be same. Okay, so just put the indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we'll be having in the two pointers algorithm is very important. So watch it very carefully. Okay, so in the two pointers, we'll be having two variables. Let's say left and right. Okay, in the two pointers algorithm, we'll be having two variables. Okay, let's name it as left variable and right variable. Okay, now we'll be initializing left to 0. We'll be assigning the left to 0, and the right will be my the index which is present at the last. Okay, for example, here my size of the array is 5, right? So in order to get the length of my string, I'll be having str dot length, right? Length minus 1. So here left will be having the value 0, and right will be having the value str dot length minus 1. So str dot length is 5 minus 1, 4. So here let me initially point like L to 0, L is left, and R to 4. R is right. Okay. Now I'll be checking I'll be checking if the element which is present at the L, okay, if str dot char at left is equal to str dot char at right, I'll be checking this condition. Okay, I'll be checking this condition. Um, if it's not equal, I'll directly say it is a palindrome. But here it is equal. A is equal to A, right? So it's we are good to go. Now, what I'll be doing is I'll be incrementing my left by 1. So left is equal to left plus 1. So my left goes here, and then I'll be my right should come here, no, in order to check here, in order to decrease from 4 to 3, I want to decrement it by 1. So right is equal to right minus 1. This will be my condition. Okay, then now right comes here, the element at left and right is checked. B and B is same, so we are good to go. And one more thing, so this we'll be giving it in a loop. You can go for loop, or you can also go with the while loop. Okay, but for this problem, while loop actually will be more convenient. Whenever you're giving a loop, whenever you're using a looping concept, you must have a base condition, right? Base condition in the sense you must have a certain condition until which your loop is going to run. Only if the condition is met as failed, then only your program is going to halt. Okay, so in order to ensure the termination of your program, it is mandatory to give a condition which is a correct condition. Okay, so here, let's see, I'll be explaining you. Okay, so again, here B and B is same. Now again, increment your L and then decrement your R. Now L and R points to the same variable C. That's fine. So the character at L is also same, and the character at R is also same. Now in the next step, what happens when you try to increment L? Your L goes here, right? Your L goes here, and your R goes here. Okay, actually, once you have checked the condition at L is equal to, once you have checked this condition, once you're done with this condition of checking the element, uh, which is uh, which is either present at the same index. If your left and right comes with the same index, I think that's fine. And one more thing, remember it's an odd size string, because here your length is 5. What happens? You have something called A, B, C, C, B, A. So here your left will be in this position and your right will be in this position. Now your left and right is not equal. Okay, but in your odd string, in your last condition, your left and right will be equal, but in an even sized, your left and right is not going to be equal. Okay, and what happens after this? Like your left comes here, your right comes here, because you'll be incrementing your left and you'll be decrementing by right. So this is going to be a condition, because at this step you might have traversed, like every element that is present over your string, and you would have already found, uh, if it's you had already found the condition if both the characters at that places are like same or not. So your condition is actually will be while L is greater than R, greater than or equal to R. Okay, if it is an even, then L is greater than R is fine, because at none of the instance your L and R is going to be same at even sized strings. But if you are using odd size, then left must be less than or equal to right. Until this condition is true, you have to have it, because you can here you can see your left and right is same, right? So in order to give a generalized solution, you'll be going with this condition. Okay, so guys, this is how a 2-point algorithm works. Clear, Joshua? So are you clear with the algorithm? I'll be coding now. Guys, is anybody watching? Or none of them is watching? Okay, thank you, Jashan. So when I try to code, let me, I'll take an input string. Enter a string. Okay. Uh, yes. Now I'm going to pass it to a function. Okay. Uh, I'll be writing a method. Public static. Okay. So my method's name will be is palindrome, and it actually returns true if it is a palindrome or else false. So my return type is going to be a boolean data type. So what I'll be doing is I'll be just telling my return condition as boolean. Public static boolean is palindrome. Yes, I'm going to pass a string argument. So string str. Okay. Now this is my two pointers approach, right? I'll be having two pointers. Int left is equal to 0 and int right is equal to str dot length minus 1. Okay. Now, as I've already said, I'm going to use a loop. I'll be using while loop here, and my condition is thank you, Simran. And my condition is while my left is less than or equal to right, my loop is going to work. So while left is less than or equal to right, like while my left is less than or equal to right, um, yeah, I'll be checking if str dot char at left. I mean, if not, okay, not equal to s dot char. I mean str dot char at right. Okay, see here instead of checking each and every time, I'm just going to give. For example, let's say here we have something called as g. Okay, I'll be checking if my character at L and R is not same, then obviously that will not account into a palindrome. That will not lead to be a palindromic string. So directly I'll be returning false. That's why I'm giving if str.caret left not equal to str.caret right, then I'll be returning false. Okay, or else if it is a palindrome, that then it checks each and every condition and it comes out of the for loop. I mean, or out of the while loop. So I'll be giving return true. And here I want to increment left each time, and I want to decrement right each time. Okay, and I'll be storing the result in a boolean variable because our is palindrome is going to give a boolean value, right? So boolean result is equal to function name. I'm going to call the function is palindrome. I'm going to pass the string input. Okay, so if result is equal to true, if true, I'm printing is a palindrome. Else I'll print it is not a palindrome. Okay. I'll be giving A, B, C, D, D, C, B, A. Yes, it is telling me that it is a palindrome. Okay. And if I'm giving something like welcome, it is not a palindrome because when we reverse the string welcome, both will not be equal. So this is how the concept of two pointers works. Okay, so I have simply explained how a two pointers concept works when you come to see about checking the palindrome of a particular string. Okay, And two pointers concept is very important. Let me show you guys. Have you understood the two pointers approach? Two pointers approach is a very important approach in DSA because it helps you to solve even like a very high complex problem as well. Okay. Jashir and Simran, are you clear with like with the two pointers concept? In two pointers, just we'll be having two variables left and right, and then we'll be doing all the things. Okay, thank you, Jashit. And I'll be telling you the problems which is based on two pointers. Two pointers problem problems equal. Okay, so these are all the different problems which is available over in late code, and two pointers approach is very important, and this is a frequently asked interview question. Container with most water. Okay, you can go through this, you can try solving. This is also a two-point approach, or you have to actually find the maximum amount of water a container can store, and that is a two-pointer approach only. Topics: two pointers, greedy approach, array. Okay, so guys, are you clear with the things until now? Now we'll start with Cube's concept. What about others? Jashir, how many of them are watching? Jashir, can you kindly let me know how many of them are watching the live, so that like it'll be very fine. Okay, thank you. What about the remaining four guys? So have you understood things until now? Guys need acknowledgement, so let's take a 2 minute break, and then a break in sense like we'll be in the live only. Okay, don't go anywhere. I just want to know if you people have any doubts in the concept which we have seen until now in methods, in arrays, in strings, or in the two pointers approach. Do you have any blockers, or do you have any doubts? And are you coding with me parallelly? Do you have any issues with understanding the concepts, or everything is clear? Because only when you are familiar with things like this, other things will be very easy when you go with cognitive programming stuffs. Guys like Simran, Athar, are you people clear with the concept? Sunil, Jashir, it's clear, right? So okay, thank you, Simran. Okay. So let me start with the OOPS concept. Okay. Yes. So OOPS is actually a very important thing in Java, because that is what makes like Java a very powerful tool, because everything Java is known as a OOPS language, because as I have said in my very first lecture, because here we do write everything in terms of classes and objects only. Okay. So yep. So object, it actually represents a real world entity or an object, like you can take a watch, or a table or a computer. Okay, because it do have different properties and attributes, because when you take a watch, it has some specific functionality. Okay, the functionality of the watch is to show you the timing, and like every watch is, it actually has some features. It only have the 12 the 12 different divisions, and it has a minute hand and an hour hand. These things are going to be same, but there will be a slight difference, right? And oops is actually what makes Java to solve the real world problems. For example, there could be many scenarios in order to implement, like, for example, IRCTC or the ticket management system or the hotel management system or something like that. Or many things can be there, right? So, in order to solve those problems and in order to create a console based application, actually, oops helps us a lot. Okay, not thank you. Okay, oops helps us a lot. And yeah, these are all the four different things. So first I'll be telling you the definition of all these four important concepts, and then we'll be seeing the coding part for inheritance and polymorphism. Okay, so first of all, inheritance. So what do you mean by inherit? Inherit in the sense like you are going to inherit some features, or for example, the like child inherits some properties of parent, right? The same concept only we are going to use here as well. For example, let's take a class called as college. Okay, so the college class will be having some predefined instance variables and methods. Okay, so I'm going to create a subclass or a child class for the college. For example, my child class is going to be a department. Okay, so class department. If I want to use the methods or the attributes which is already defined in my uh, parent class or in my college class, I will be, inheriting college class in my department class with the help of extends keyword. Okay, I'll be showing an example, don't worry. If I'm doing like this means like it will be very easy for me to use the variables. For example, in order to use the variables, attributes and the methods from one method to another method, we have to actually inherit it. Okay, so that is known as inheritance. Okay, so we do have different types of inheritance in Java: single, hybrid. Okay, so multi-level, hierarchical as well. Multiple inheritance is not supported in the Java. Okay, and next thing is polymorphism. Polymorphism in the sense, it's a scenario where a same method with the same name that can carry two different functionalities depending upon the scope or depending upon the class where you have defined that particular method. Its functionality actually changes in respect to the class or in respect to the place or the scope where you have declare that particular method. For example, let's take a person. Okay, so at home, the same person behaves as a father. Okay, but when he goes to his workplace, his work spot, he is going to be an employee there. The same person only. Okay, but the two different areas in home and in workplace. In workplace, he'll be acting as an employee. He'll be taking the role of an employee, but in home, he'll be taking the role of a father to his kid. So the same person only. So in that way, same method according to the scope, according to the places, it takes various the different functionality, and that is actually known as polymorphism. So we do have two different types of polymorphism. And guys, please do pay more attention to the concept of inheritance and polymorphism, because at interview, people will definitely question you on inheritance and polymorphism. Mainly today we'll be seeing two important concepts. I mean, two different types of polymorphism. One is runtime and another one is compile time. Okay, so runtime polymorphism is also known as method overriding. Okay, and compile time polymorphism is also known as method overloading. Okay, we'll be seeing what is the meaning of method overloading and method overriding. Don't worry. Okay, so but depending on you know like the change in the functionalities of the methods, or uh, whether it changes its role during the compile time or runtime. Okay, the way how the difference is going to be identified. The method with the same name, they have split it into compile time and runtime. Okay, and another one is abstraction. So the real world example of how an abstraction work is, um, for example, I want to call my friend. Okay, what I'll be doing, I'll just take my phone, I'll dial his number, and I'll make him a call. I'll convey the thing which I want to tell him, and yeah, I will be building up a convo. And once I'm done with the stuff which I am supposed to tell, I'll be ending the call, right? So, uh, I need a functionality which is to be done. So the functionality is actually, or the feature is actually to call my friend and to inform him something. Okay, I was able to do that with the help of a handy. I mean, with the help of a mobile, I was able to do that. But I don't know how that particular communication was built, or how that particular connection in the sense, the I mean the calling connection was actually built, right? So just what I know, I'll take my mobile, I'll just dial his number, I'll talk to him. That's it. I don't know the exact backend or the exact logic how it works, and I never care because whenever we are preparing a product for the customers, uh, the functional, I mean, the availability of the functionality and features for the customer is completely fine. I mean, exposing the whole backend logic or exposing every detail, it's not necessary, right? Because the main aim of building a product is people can use it. In order to use, it's fine that they must know how to work with the or how to use the application or what and all the features and functionality that is available instead of how that feature or functionality actually works. So that is known as abstraction. Abstraction in the sense will be, like implementing it with the help of abstract classes and static static methods as well. Okay, so in your abstraction, only you'll be abstracting certain things from the user or from the entity, which must not have access to all those information. So you'll be hiding information in such a way that your data is not exposed. Okay, so those are abstract classes, and that is the concept of abstraction. And when you come to see about encapsulation, as the word encapsule is actually a stuff like where you'll be having a normal encapsule, no capsule tablets in real time. So something related to that. Your data and your coding part, your coding logic will be combined and will be merged and will be kept as a single entity, and that is known as encapsulation. Okay, so guys, are you clear with the four concepts? I mean, have you got some basic idea on is what is meant by inheritance? So if you want to use the attributes and the methods that is present from one class to another class, I'll be using inheritance. And in order to implement inheritance, I need the use of extends keyword. Polymorphism, I have said. Thank you, Jashit. We need this much speed because then only we'll be able to complete things. Okay, and uh, one more thing, guys. So whenever you're preparing for, I mean, Jashir, uh, you are at college. Which year? May I know which year you study and your stream? Because like if you are at your third year, then I'll be giving you some tips for your interview preparation as well. Because the tip which I'm going to give you now actually helps you if you're preparing for your interview. Second year, cool. Okay. So now itself you can start building some projects in Java. Okay, because when second year completed. Okay, so now it's time for you to start your interview preparation, right? Okay. So whenever you are taking the interview rounds, there are various level of interview. Okay. So first round is actually it is going to be an aptitude kind of thing. Okay. Once again, just a second. Okay, so sorry for the interruption. Okay, so to just share, like, or to the people who are here, and if you're preparing for your interviews, I'll be telling you, like the various steps which is being carried. First thing will be actually an aptitude round. So the interview process, it actually varies depending on the companies which you are applying for and the job roles as well. Okay, so first round will actually be an aptitude round. Okay, and second round will be along with the aptitude. You can also be asked with the questions like what will be the output. So you'll be like given some snippets, and you'll be asked to uh, you'll be given some snippets, and you'll be asked to find the output of them. So this could be the cases, and this will almost cover your first round. And the second round will be a technical coding round where people will be dealing only with the DSA part. And if you clear that round, the number of coding rounds varies as per the companies. Okay, and then in some, and after you clear the coding round as well, okay, the second round, I mean third round, will be application development round. In the application development round, like the big companies like Zoho and all, they'll be having LLD round. LLD in the sense low level design round. Okay, in the low level design round, what people will do is, you'll be you'll be asked to create a console based application. Okay, some companies also allow you to create a web based application as well. So there you have to completely you have to build and develop a console based application. Not even completely, they'll be giving only 2 hours or 3 hours of time. So they'll be asking you to implement certain features and functionality. You are supposed to implement that. Okay, with the help of any tech stack which you know. And yeah, Zoho has LD round, and after which you'll be having technical interviews. And the number of rounds for the technical interviews actually depends on the interview panel only, because how many times they want to screen you, and how many times they want to review you thoroughly. I mean, that much times they'll be asking you yeah, number of questions, and you'll be having that much technical rounds. Once you clear the technical yeah round, uh, then in the technical round, people will be judging you the basic things or the basic subjects which you have already studied in your college, like the very very important concepts which you have to revise before going to the technical rounds are, um, DBMS, database management system. Guys, are you there? Jashir, I think it is something like a one-on-one call. Jashir, are you there? Like, whatever I'm speaking, does that make sense? Or does it mean can where I can find internship, where I can find stipend also? I also approach many small companies, but no response. Okay, okay. Jashir, actually, in order to I mean, look for the internships, there are many portals, like AICT internships, because here you can check for the internships, because many internships are available at this portal. Okay, and one second guys. Yes, yes, and like many internships are available in this portal. Okay, so you can go find it, and you can also apply through LinkedIn as well, Jashir. Okay, and yes, so when you are done with the technical interview rounds, then the last and final round will be HR round. So now we are seeing the OOPS concept and the things, the concepts which we are going to learn now. You can use it in the LLD round or low level design. It is known as low level design. And you can also uh, and you can also like it use it in order to build the console based applications. And yeah, it helps you in interview as well, or if you want to build projects also, it helps you as well. And in order to study more about, we do have many design principles which is being followed whenever you are going to create a console based application, or whenever you are going to create a very well enhanced system. And in order to learn those design patterns, I'll be suggesting you a website. uh, no, Design tools. Yes, these are the various design patterns which is available. This website is actually cool, and because it is actually picturized, so it helps you uh, to keep you engaged and interesting. So these are the different design patterns: creational, structural. In creational, we do have all these methods, and structural as well, and behavior as well. Because when try when you learn all these design patterns, and when you explain what system we have implemented with the name of these design pattern, your name will be having more weightage, and you will be standing apart from other candidates in an interview. Okay, so yes, so this is what I was about to say. And now uh, let's start with the coding part. Now we'll be seeing the basic yes, the basic inheritance. So I'll be creating a class called student. First of all, I'll be telling how what is a class and how objects are created. Okay. So now let us take a scenario where uh, see I'm going to mark the record of my students' marks. Okay, so I'm going to be a class teacher, and I'm having some 50 students' records for whom I have to uh, enter their details and their marks, which they have, scored in a particular examination. Okay, so I want to create a record book for them. uh, of course, like every students will be having similar attributes. Like everybody will be having a unique ID, everybody will be having a gender, everybody will be having the same attribute, marks, and everybody will be belonging to the same class department, right? Only thing which differs is their name or their age group will also be similar. So that is where actually, here it comes. I'll be telling an example. Okay, so create student a student class. Okay. Okay, public class student. So here I'll be giving my instance variables. Okay, so my instance variables will be, I'll be having string ID, okay, a string ID. Okay, because the unique ID of my students is going to be a string. It can have alphanumeric values, right? And string name, then string class. String class name or department, and their marks in marks. Okay, so now I'll be creating a constructor. Okay, what is the meaning of constructor? Okay, constructor is actually const- constructors actually, it is similar to a method, because it does a particular task, and it does some particular task, but the only difference which makes it different from, like a method. The constructors, actually it is different from a method only in one aspect. Constructors does not have a return type. Okay, so constructors will not be having a return type. 1 minute, guys. One. Actually, ma'am, I have really crystal clear concept, but when it comes to implement, I lost myself. Okay, even even I know almost advanced Java. Okay, okay. Jashir, actually, don't worry. Like, implementation is actually quite simple, but the thing is, you have to try implementing, and you have to start with implementing the things. Okay, because when you're clear with the concept, implementation is very simple because whenever we are clear with the concept, in the same way, in the same logic only, we'll also be implementing the thing when it comes to coding steps. Okay, so on the concepts which you have already learned, okay, don't don't worry, like just start building on different algorithms, and then break down into different snippets, break down into smaller parts, and then try working on the things, and practice makes everything, right? So obviously you'll be getting. And I just want to know up to which advanced concept you know in Java. Okay, so so when we come to simple constructor, it is similar to a method. Okay, it does some specific task, but every time constructor will not be returning anything, so it does not have a return type. And whenever you are creating a class, automatically a default constructor will be created on its own by Java. Okay, and default constructor will be created by Java. Okay, and um, the constructor name the constructor name will always be same as the class name. Okay, so here is my constructor, and we are having two type of constructor. Okay, one is parameterized constructor, and one is the default constructor. Okay, so default constructor, actually it is already created by Java whenever you try to create a new class. Okay, and also you can override the functionality of the default constructor as well. So here I'll be using a parameterized constructor. Okay, so here I'll be passing it string ID, string name, string ID, string name, department. Wait. Okay. Now I want to assign it to the instance variables over here. So ID is equal to I, name, department. Collection premium 50%. Oh, 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay. Okay. Cool. You'll be able to code. Don't worry. Okay. So department D and marks is equal to, yeah. Okay. So I'll be creating a main class main, and then I'll be creating a main method, string arguments, and yes. So I'll be creating an object for my student class. Okay, so student object name will be s1 is equal to new student of, I'll be passing it over here. The id will be 1, the name will be Kirtana, and the department will be I'll be department will be CSE, and my marks is going to be 43. Okay, so I'll be writing a method over here, which is a void method, void display. I'll be just printing system dot out dot print, println id plus department, id plus name plus department plus marks. Okay. Yes. So even in order to like call a particular method in a class, it will be done only with the help of the object only. So s1 dot display. Okay. So I'm getting one Kipna CSE 43. It's getting stored, right? So this is how it works. Okay. And similarly, I can create a new object, student s2 is equal to new student of, I can append or I can insert another student's name. So this is what is the like the concept of class and object. So here is a class. So in this class, I have returned the instance variables and the methods over here, and this is my constructor, this is my parameterized constructor. Okay, and in another class, in my main method, I'm going to create objects for the same. I'm going to add Jashir's name. Okay, and he's from the department of CSBS or something, and the mark is going to be 78. Okay, yes, s2 dot display as well. So when I try to, like run the code, I'll be getting the output. Okay, so this is instead of writing it is very easy, So here is my blueprint of my class, because every student is going to have ID, name, department, marks as their attributes. So just I'll be creating a blueprint of the student. So class is actually the blueprint of an object, and here I'll be creating new objects. Like for example, it's fine like if I'm going to create 50 objects. Okay, so this is actually the concept of classes and objects. So guys, are you clear with this? Jashi, is this clear? And how many people are watching? Can you let me know? Simran, are you present? Like, Simran, did you understand this? Did you understand the concept of class and objects? If yes, then we'll be moving into inheritance, and then we'll also be seeing. Okay, thank you, Jashi. We'll be seeing inheritance, and then we'll be handling with polymorphism, method overloading and method overriding, and then let's wind up. Like if time permits, I'll be telling the collection frameworks as well, or else we'll wind up. So what about this Jashir? Like, how many people are watching here? Can you let me know, because I don't know the exact count so that I can ask everybody. And Simran, are you there? Okay, guys. How many of four? To all the four members over here, thank you very much, because like you are now three. Great. So, oh, thank you, Simran. Okay, okay. So now next we'll be seeing the concept of inheritance. Okay. Um, so let me have the class name as college, and I'm going to create a class department. Okay. Here, my college actually it is going to have some kind of attributes. Like it is going to have sorry, okay, int NAR of ranking is equal to, I'll be giving the default value, 1. Okay, and let's say I'll be having the college name. String name is equal to the college name, any other college like ABC. Okay, that's it. So I'll be creating a display method where my system is going to print the NAR of ranking and my name of the college. Okay, so uh, I want to use, in order to use the attributes, the instance variables and the methods of college class in my department class, I want to inherit my college class in my department class. So because of which I have to use the keyword extends college. Okay, uh, now my NARF and my name method, NARF and my name attributes will also be available in my department. So I'm not going to initialize or I'm not going to declare anything. Simply I'm going to write a method. I'm going to write the same display method over here. Okay, so I doesn't want to write display method also. See what happens. Okay, so I'm not going to have any class definition, no class definition. Okay, I already have written the instance variables values and display method in my college class, and in my department class I have not defined anything. I have not defined anything in the class, but just I have extended the properties and the methods of my college class. Okay, now see what happens. I'm going to create an object for my child class. So this is known as my parent class. Parent class, meaning of parent class is the class from which the properties are being inherited. It is known as parent class. Okay, and child class is the class which inherits the properties of another class. Child class or subclass, you can call anyway. Okay, so here I'm not going to define anything, but I'll be creating an object for my department. So object for the child class. Department D1 is equal to new department. This is actually a default constructor, because here department is the class name. Inside I'm not even passing any parameters. So if we are not, so department, here my constructor name as well as the class name must be equal always. Okay, and in my parentheses, I'm not even giving any parameters. Okay, so that's why it is known as default constructor. I'm calling default constructor, and with the help of the object, I want to access the method display. Okay, see what happens. See, I have not defined anything in my department class, but see what happens. Okay, you are I mean, like the NIRF ranking and the ABC, like it is being, like it is, it is being printed, right? That is what is the meaning of inheritance. Okay, I am just going to use the properties of my parent class in my child class, and this is known as inheritance. Okay, here I have inherited the properties of my college class in my department class. So this is the basic example. This is a very simple inheritance concept. So there are different inheritance that is present in Java. Okay, so type of inheritance in Java. There are different types, and yeah, these are the different types: single level, multiple level, hierarchical, multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. You can go with Java T point, and for articles or for documentation, in order to study Java, you can go with Java T point. Okay, yeah, we'll be having single, multi-level, hierarchical, and hybrid, and multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. Okay. Um, so guys, are you clear with the inheritance concept? This is actually inheritance concept. It is very simple. Just what you're going to do is you are just going to inherit the properties of one class into another class, and these are all the things. Guys, are you clear with the concept of inheritance? Jashir and Simran. Thank you, Jashir. Simran, are you clear with the concept? Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Like, you both are making my day, really. Okay, so next thing is polymorphism. Okay, so in polymorphism, we do have two things, two types of polymorphism: compile time and runtime. Sorry, guys. Actually, I'm having cold. That's why like in between, I'm taking uh, short breaks. Okay, sorry. Runtime and compile time. Actually, another name of runtime polymorphism is method overriding, and the other name of compile time polymorphism is method overloading. Okay, so what do you mean by method overloading? You are going to have two different methods. Okay, you're going to have two different methods which varies in the number of parameters. For example, you are having the methods, let's say addition. Okay, in my first addition, actually, what you are going to do is you are going to pass two variables. Okay, and again in the same class, you are also giving a new definition for addition addition method where the number of parameters count is changed A, B, C. Okay, I'll be telling an example. Wait. So in NARF ranking, string name, okay, okay, okay. So see what happens. Okay, I'm going to write a method void addition. Okay, and in my addition, I'm going to the user is going to pass two variables. int a and b. Okay, and I'll be printing system.out.println sum is a plus b. Okay, and I'm again going to define my addition method. Here I'll be passing three parameters, int a, b, and int c, and same. I'll be computing the sum of given two variables is, and sum of given three variables is a plus b plus c. Okay, and also this could be the case, so my name of the method is going to be same, but they are different in the number of parameters. So in my first method definition, I'm going to pass two parameters only, but in my second definition I'm going to pass three parameters. So here is like the difference in the sense, like here there is a difference in the number of parameters. Okay, now let's see what happens when we are creating an object. Okay, don't worry. Now next thing is in two cases, like you can encounter if it is a method overloading. First thing is difference in the number of parameters, and the method name must also be same. First thing is difference in the number of parameters, and the second thing is um, difference in the data type of the parameters. Okay, here void addition, I'm going to pass two variables only, but one is going to be an integer variable and another is going to be a float variable. Okay, so system.out.println sum of given int and float variable is a plus b. Okay, see what happens. So I have created an object for my department class, and I'm just going to call object dot addition. I'll be just passing 1 comma 3. Okay, let's see what happens. Because I have redefined the methods each and every time. So what happens is, according to the input whatever I'm passing in the parameters, or according to the attributes whichever I'm passing in my function call in the as the parameters, the corresponding definition will be considered. For example, here 1 comma 3 is there, both are integer variable. So my first addition method will take the action. It acts as the addition method over here. Okay, let's see what happens. In my first case, I'm going to give 1 comma 3, and in my second case I'm going to call the same method addition, but here I'm going to pass three variables, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and in my another thing, object dot addition, uh, 3 and 4.5. Okay, this 4.5. Because whenever you are declaring whenever you are giving a float value, you are supposed to add f at the end, but whenever you are giving double, it is not necessary. Okay, so we have created a single object for the department class, so three times we are calling the function. And yes, uh, according to the parameters, automatically the definition of the function is updated. It is being adapted, right? So this is known as polymorphism. In my first case, this particular definition acts as my addition method. Okay. In my second case, as I have passed three parameters and both all the three are integers, it gets aligned with my second addition definition. Okay, so this addition method acts as the original addition method. So this is what I said. A same method will act in different functionalities according to the scope and according to the places and this is termed as method overloading. So guys, are you clear with method overloading? Method overloading, it is also called as compile time polymorphism, and for sure people will be questioning you on method overloading and method overriding. These are very simple things, but yep. Guys, are you clear with method overloading? Jashir and Simran. Thank you, Jashir. And Simran, are you clear here? Okay. So next is the method overriding. Okay. Next is the method overriding. And in method overriding, it is also known as runtime polymorphism. Okay. Here, we are going to override the definition of a method. Okay. For example, let's take an example here for method overriding. Okay. Guys, clear with method overloading, right? Yes. We use the reference of parent class and object of subclass. Yeah, everything works fine. No, it doesn't means every time you have to take the reference of parent class and the reference of subclass. Okay, it actually differs. In some places, according to your scenarios, like some places you can actually refer to the subclass and you can also create the object for the subclass. Okay, or in some places you can vice versa also you can do. Okay. So next thing is method overriding. Okay. In method overriding, one second. Yes, Shashi. Why you need to use everything works, and in this way itself it is correct only, compile and polymorphism in Java. Example. See here, in the same class itself we can write like this, and this is how it works. See here, this is also called as polymorphism and a compile time polymorphism. Here we have a single class calculator.java. Okay. Here in a single class, what they are doing, they are giving the calculator and they are having two different methods over here. The same method, add, but the return type is different. Okay, and the data types of the parameters is different, and they are just creating uh, an object for a single class only. So it doesn't mean that every time it must be same. Of course, you can do like this as well. No, you cannot see. You cannot create the reference to a parent class because these methods are not present in the parent class. But see what happens if I'm going to now it returns an error, right? Because this addition method is not present in the parent class. So reference to the parent class cannot be done. But if I'm going to write the same definition over here, it works. Okay. And it doesn't mean that in polymorphism always we have to reference to a parent class and we have to create an object for the child class. No. Even even for actually, okay, it works, right? So actually the idea is, if you are trying to change the parameters of a variable, okay, parameters of a method, and if the method has the same name also, it doesn't result into a conflict. Okay, it automatically gets adapted. Okay, Joshi, are you clear? Single class, even for different classes also, that will be the case, no? It is actually in order to show that this is also they're calling it as method overloading, for polymorphism only, right? So even if if it is a single class also, you are just going to create the object for that particular class. So method overloading is polymorphism is not every time you want to reference a parent and subclass. Then in this case you're having one class and you're not having even a parent class or a child class. You're not even using anything, but how here they can call it as a comparative polymorphism? I mean, like, my question is right. Are you getting my question? Like, here there is no concept of parent and child class. They're using only single class. Okay, and they're creating an object for that single class, and in that case also they are calling it as method overloading, and they are calling it as comparative polymorphism. Okay. Only in this case, like, it actually works. So here I'm going to write a method for method overriding. I'm going to write a method void run. Okay, I'll be giving it as parent class. System dot out dot println parent class. The same void run method I'm going to redefine. I'll be writing it as child class. Now we'll be, like, referencing it to a parent class, and we'll be creating an object for the child class. Okay, now let's see what happens. Object dot um, run. Child class is the output. Okay, so here in the college class I have defined the run method in order to print parent class as my output, but I have redefined the definition of the run method in my child class college, okay, in order to print the child class. So here when I'm creating a reference to my parent class and when I try to create an object for the child class, the definition, I'm creating the reference to my parent class only. So when I'm creating the reference to my parent class, actually in my college class the definition of my run method is parent class only, no, but it is getting redefined, it is getting overridden by the content which I have given in my child class. So that's why we are getting the output as child class, and this is the concept of method overriding. We are just going to override the definition of a particular method. Does it mean every time we want to do a parent class, create a child class, create an object with reference to? By referring to an object using a variable of its parent class type, we typically create the object with reference to child class. This is often called upcasting. Okay, 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 Jashid, you are correct. I mean, yes, you are correct. Like, thank you. Like, I actually got an insight because I thought, even like, I thought even in this case, actually, it works, right? For method overloading, it even works whenever, like, we try to create an object and reference for the same class, also it works. So I thought, like, uh, that is actually that is also a use case where polymorphism is covered, but every time, okay, we have to make the reference to the parent class and then we have to create the object class. That also comes under polymorphism. I thought I know, like, I mean, referencing to a parent class and creating an object for the child class comes under polymorphism. But I thought referencing and creating object for the same class also takes into account of polymorphism, but that's not. That actually works only when it is a single class. Okay, okay. Thank you. So, guys, yes, so this is all about the OOPS concept. Like, we do have more things to cover as we are running out of the time. I would like to, like, wind it up over here. And this is all about the polymorphism, the runtime and the compile time polymorphism. Okay. These are the concept of method overloading and method overriding. And when you see about the collections in Java, guys, are you clear with the concept? Guys, are you clear with the concept? Jashir, are you clear? Okay, so yes, so these are all the collection frameworks which are available. So most probably we'll be using array list, okay, stack and preset and queue and dequeue and set and hash map. Okay, so these are all the different like, classes and interfaces which are available in Java, which corresponds to collection framework. So whenever you are writing the code in C or C++ in order to create a linked list, then you are supposed to write a structure, all those things, right, in order to create a linked list. But here directly you can create with the help of the linked list class. Okay, thank you, Jesse. Because, like, I got a catch out here today. I have learned a thing because I thought even, like, it works with single class, right? Whenever we are defining the single class, we are just creating the object and the reference for a particular class, for a single class only. So I thought whenever we are using inheritance, we can also create it for individual classes as well. But whenever we are using the concept of inheritance, so that time, every time parent must be acting as a reference. And okay, cool. Thank you. So this journey was awesome. Lot of things got revised. Thanks again. And I just want to thank Jashir and like, Simran for making my day. Thank you, guys. Education is all about give and take. Of course, yeah. I have said I have said previously, right? So this is not something kind of a student teacher and all. So I'll also be learning many things from you, and you'll also be learning things from me. Okay. And I also, like, got to know about Kunal only from Jashir. Like, I'll also watch his playlist as well in order to enhance my TSA skills. And yep, guys. So if you have any doubts, or if you want, if you're having any doubts, you can also contact me, and this is my mail ID. Okay. Okay. So, guys, I just want you people to, like, let me know in the chat if we have any questions. Okay. If you have any questions regarding the things which you have seen today and which we have seen in this workshop. If not, then let me know the feedbacks, because it helps me in handling next batches as well. Okay, so yes, and my wholehearted thanks to Jashir, because yes. It was, I mean, in between it was something like one-on-one session only. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Jashir. Okay. So guys, if you have any doubts, you can let me know in the chat, or you can also give me the feedback. We'll wind it up. And I would like to thank everybody for your patience and cooperation. Okay, so I hope like I have given you some content, and you can start building your own projects. You can start developing more things from the basics. Okay, so start preparing for your interview, and yeah, so I have given websites as well. So start learning on LLD and start building many console based applications. So guys, can we wind it up? Jashir, can we wind it up? Hi Sakshi, after long back. Okay, guys. So I'd like to thank everybody. Okay, so thank you once again. Let's wind up. Thank you and bye. Okay, Jashir. Thank you, Jashir. Thank you, guys.